Okay, well, definitely while I'm flying us over to Daymar, just take a look around, and I'll note some other things as soon as I get us airborne, but just start walking around. You'll see the flight deck up front, and an entrance to turret, and some bunks, and then the main cargo area and the back ramp.
I think that's everybody on board that's joining us. Is there no one else coming from PO?
No, I'm coming from Preston. I'll meet y'all at Dame.
Alright, Lydrine said he's not coming with us. Alright.
Yeah,
Closing.
his own shit.
Yep, closing rear door. Secured. All buttons or hatches are down.
So while we're en route, just a couple things to keep in mind. You'll notice those two yellow lines along the cargo bay. We use those for some of our insertion techniques. Also, depending on who you're with, they might refer to the ship using shipboard orientation terms like forward, aft, stern, bow, port, starboard, or not. They might say front, back, left, or right. I prefer the former just because it adds some clarity around direction no matter which way you're facing, but in general, assume the directions are being given as if you're facing the front of the ship.
You know you're in VTOL mode, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get us to the light side on the map real quick. Wait, thanks. I think they did some work on the map, actually.
Actually works.
So we're gonna go to Dunlow Ridge 8th Shelter, Lagrange.
Got it.
So, yeah, typically when we're operating out of a Cutlass, all the Helljumpers will be seated in the back like you guys are, and if we have extra manpower, manning a turret, or doing other tasks as needed. This is ground training to start, so we're going to start with everything we do with the ground, but then we do have, I like to split out a separate Helljumper qualification that does sort of more the airborne and spaceborne insertions. So we have two ways that when we're coming into a target area, we exit the ship. One is off the back, and it's either tailgate drop, or sometimes we call it a static line drop, if we're in motion. And the other is out of the side doors. And they both use similar setup procedures, which we'll go over more on the ground since I'm up here in the pilot seat. But the general premise is a series of commands. The first one is when the pilot gives a 2-minute out notice. If we have a jump master, the jump master would then relay the command gear check. So on hearing that command, gear check, you would scroll your mouse wheel all the way down, stand up in your seat, or stand up in front of your seat, close the seat, because they get in the way when we're doing vehicular activities and in other ways they can snag stuff. So you close the seat, face the person across from you, you check your Moby glass to make sure you have everything you need, and then you check the person across from you visually just from your standing point to make sure they've got everything they need. So that's the first command. That's at 2 minutes out. So you'd hear gear check. Then at 1 minute out, you'll hear prepare to drop. In which case, depending on the exit we were using, which would be talked about in the briefing or en route, you would either turn 90 degrees to face the ramp, or turn the other 90 degrees and begin walking down each respective yellow line. And we'll go over that in more detail on the ground. And then finally, the third command, 30 seconds out, would be red light. And depending on the type of drop, certain things will happen. for a ground drop, you will basically scroll the mouse wheel all the way up so that you're back in moving quickly mode, and the doors will open. And if it's a ground insertion in atmosphere, you'll take your primary firearm out. And then finally, the last command over the target would be green light, drop, 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 in which case we all head out. So once I get us down on the ground, we'll run a couple just practice runs of that, and then we'll move to some of our formation training. Is there any questions about that?
Nope. Taking notes as you're talking, and I'm also recording just to have it for later.
Okay, great. And we actually do have a Google Doc with this whole training, but right now Gunner's the only one with access, so or with like edit access to update it. So we're gonna at some point get that situated and might end up on the channel. Just kind of looking for a nice flat spot for us. Alright, so I'm just going to turn the engines off actually, and then we'll run through that, do a couple dry runs of it, and then leave the ship and move on to the rest of the training. Alright, so we're going to walk through that, kind of simulate an exit. So first we'll start with the tail exit. So in which case, let's say we hear 2 minutes out from the pilot, you're going to hear gear check. Let me see you guys walk through that. Gear check.
Whoops.
Green, do me a favor, put that seat up before you do anything else. Alright, you should have scrolled all the way down. That way you're not moving around quickly, because we've had people bump into each other, glitch out, glitch through walls. It just makes everything run more smoothly. And then green, we'll pretend someone's across from you. So, yeah, you just be checking their gear. So you're looking for the fact that they have a primary rifle, that they have their magazines equipped, that they have med pens on their leg, oxygen pens. Because even with all this stuff, we still have people forget, and then accidents end up happening or someone dies. So at 1 minute out, you will hear prepare to drop. In this case, since we're going at the tailgate, you'll turn 90 degrees towards the tail and walk up to the edge of the ramp. That looked pretty smooth. And then at 30 seconds out, we'll hear red light. At that point, you'll pull your firearm out, scroll all the way up, and we'll use this as a quick opportunity to talk about weapon safety. So it's always the responsibility of the Helljumper carrying the firearm not to shoot the person in front of them or to shoot friendly. No matter what, even if they cut right in front of you while you're in the middle of a stream of fire, it's up to you to have good fire control and not shoot friendly. You know, it's nice if they don't do that. It's nice if they run around you or pivot in the other direction or whatever they need to do to avoid your fire. But ultimately, it's up to the person firing to make sure they're not shooting friendly. Now, one thing you can do is keep your trigger finger, your pointer finger on the mouse wheel, simulating like out of the trigger guard. Or you could try and not flag the person in front of you, which is a little tricky, you know, since we're separated by a screen. It's a little tricky to do that. But ultimately, keep in mind it's your responsibility not to shoot the person in front of you. Okay, so on touchdown, we'll hear green light, and the ramp will come down, and we'll walk through what that looks like real quick. So you guys just stay put. So on green light, each respective side is going to come down their respective side of the ramp, gun drawn, and we're basically going to create a little bit of security as we exit. So, first person on the starboard side of the ship is going to point to about 2 o'clock because the ship's covering 12 o'clock. Next person out would cover, you know, the 3, 4 o'clock range, and the final person out would cover the 6 o'clock range on each side. So that way we get a good full circle of coverage. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we'll just run it all from the top and close the gate, and we'll actually move out and then move on to the next stuff. So go ahead and take your seats, everybody, and we'll run it again as if we're flying in. And also, ideally, you holster your weapon to you before you sit. It causes glitches if you don't sometimes, and also sometimes you might want to stand up and not immediately draw your weapon. So that's something to think about. All right, so 2 minutes out, gear check. So you should be standing, scrolling all the way down.
It's not letting me stow my gun. I don't have the option. Sorry.
Try holding R.
Holding R.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and pop that seat up as well. Actually, I'll get it for you this time, just so you stay in motion.
Yeah, I was focused on the gun.
Oh, gotta love the accidental sit. So make sure you check that Moby glass and then check the person across from you. And 1 minute out, prepare to drop. See, I'm definitely still seeing a bit of like running.
Yeah, I forgot to
Something
scroll
going on.
down.
Might have to toggle that off. Yeah, okay, gotcha. So make sure you do that. All right, red light. So that should be weapons out, scrolling all the way up. We're approaching, we're approaching. I'm gonna be joining the port side of the ship, so I'll be behind Normandy, and I'll just file out with you guys. So that tailgate opens on red light, and then green light, green light, green light. Cool, and that's basically it. So the last person out will say last man out, or all Helljumpers on the ground, or everybody's out. Just some communication that's clear and concise that tells the pilot we're all out. And in that case, the pilot will take off, get out of the way, and we're on our own on mission. Any questions about that whole sequence? Because we use it pretty much in every scenario. Nope. Okay, great. So we'll move into the first of formations. So one formation that we started introducing is something called Rally Up, which is not really a formation technically, but it's just a way of writing everyone up or getting everyone in a specific spot as needed. So the Rally Up formation is basically what we're in right now, which is why I'm starting with it. It's sort of a loose, coverage zone where we have all of our fire sectors covered, and we're just kind of ready to go on to whatever the next thing is. So this is Rally Up. So we might use this if we were waiting for extraction. We might use it after clearing a building. We might not use it at all, but it's just something you should be aware of. So yeah, now I can see I've got a contact coming in off the 9 o'clock of the ship. Alright, so the next formation is the first of our main ones, and that is just a line formation. So I'll stand right here, and what I want you guys to do is get into line formation. You'll be basically shoulder to shoulder in front of the ship facing me. So, yep, exactly. It's kind of line formation, shoulder to shoulder. And so in general, when we're giving formation commands, we'll give the formation and then some kind of spacing or structure. It doesn't have to be a technical distance, but we often do that. So it could be something like line 5 meters, in which case you should be 5 meters away from the person on your left and right. We might also say just something like, give me a tight line or a spread out line, and can kind of infer just kind of covering a larger distance. Like, spread out line might be where Normandy was at 10 or 15 meters. So that's the first formation. Great for frontal assault, really good. You have a lot of guns facing the 12 o'clock. But pretty weak on a lot of other fronts. It's a little more visible than some of the other formations. Poor left and right response because people are potentially flagging each other when they're responding to contact on the left or right, and no back coverage. Okay, so next we'll just invert this into a column. So we'll have war come up to the front, and let's have green fog take up the rear. And let's give 5 meter spacing. So it's, I mean, a lot of you guys have probably seen this formation before. It's just a single column. And this is sort of the inverse of a line in that it has sort of weaker frontal response, but great left and right response. And it also introduces 2 positions that we'll talk about, which is our point person, which in this case is war, and our last man, which is Normandy. And so each of those positions has kind of a special role aside from point protecting the front of the column. The last man is also protecting the rear, which is kind of tricky. You have to keep track of what's behind you and stay in formation and with the column. But those 2 positions have other roles to play too. So in general, our point person may be calling out some information which the rest of the column is going to respond to, and our last man is going to help the point person know where people are standing by. Like if he gives a command like column formation, when last man's in position, they'll say last man and let war know that that's happened. And we use that in our breaching and some other places too. Any questions about that? All right, so then we're going to move ahead to the next formation, which is a staggered column. So if Lagarine, if you want to pop out to your right, exactly. And so if you guys use, we have a contact coming in. Is that Achilles?
Yep, Kalis.
Nice. So, so if you guys just use your third-person view, you can see in this formation it's sort of a zigzag, or you know, it's just basically 2 columns that are staggered with each other. This is a really useful formation. It makes it so that you have further frontal coverage. It also makes it so that everyone can still respond left or right without flagging or tagging any friendlies. It's great for a middle ground in visual reference between a column and a line. So, you know, the column was nice and compact. The line was kind of spread out. This is a little bit of both. It's great for patrolling. It's great for hallways, roadways. If there were a vehicle with us, we'd put it between us, between the 2 columns, which would open up a lot of opportunities for us there too. So it's very useful. Chaos, if you want to just fall in anywhere, you're welcome to do that. So next we'll move on to the wedge formation, which is basically a V. So war, why don't we keep you on point and you just kind of step up a little bit. And we'll just form that wedge on war. So green, if you just pop out to your left, and a Kalis as well. Exactly, and so depending on the spacing, you know, maybe it's a 5 meter wedge, in which case you'll all be 5 meters from each other. Maybe it's much larger. Maybe it's 100 meters. I don't know. It'll depend on our environment. Here we have a big open environment. Here we have, again, great frontal response, depending on the tightness of the formation, a little bit more limited visibility than something like the line is. Okay, let's go ahead then and move on to right echelon, which is just going to be one side of that wedge. So if we say right echelon, we're referring to the right side of the point person. So right echelon would be just the one side of that wedge. And let's just keep that 5 meter spacing. And so echelons are interesting. They're obviously useful if you run into an obstruction on your left side. For example, the right echelon will clear that. But also they provide a lot of the benefits of a wedge and a lot of the benefits of a staggered column. So you have clear response to your left and right. You have really heavy frontal response, which is great. So good benefits to that. And then left echelon is the same deal except on the left side. So go ahead and move to the left echelon. And it's worth noting that, you know, wedges and echelons can have staggered positions within them as well, depending on the size of the force we were working with. We could potentially stagger folks behind this left echelon line. All right, any questions around that, especially for war and green, since this is potentially new information, although it sounded like maybe where you...
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with some of it. You're going through a few things that are kind of gray in my memory, but it's catching up. I've been out of the military for over 20 years, so...
Oh, brother.
All right, and so there might be more information there too that we'll touch on as we go through things. Okay, great. So in that case, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of walk a large circle where you guys will rotate through point and last man, and call out some formations to make sure they solidify everyone. Let's just shrink down to about 3 meters. That way we can keep things a little tighter.
Okay.
And
Achilles, you want me to turn off your jet?
yeah, definitely kill the engines too. That does cause glitches.
Yeah, I got you.
Hear about that.
Also, sometimes they just take off on their own and like.
Well, I mean, AI's an AI, right?
Ha!
If Cortana wants to go fucking fly, she can go fucking fly.
All right, so let's go ahead and have. We'll start by just kind of walking a circle. You guys follow me. I'll backpedal. When we're moving, you want to be scrolled up at about like 90% on the scroll wheel, but you want to leave a little bit of clearance above in case people need to speed past you or do anything else. Go ahead and keep weapons drawn for this too. And so we'll have war and point. Let's just start off with column formation. 3-meter column. And war, you just kind of track me. And then what we're going to do is once we get a little bit momentum here, I'll just hand it off to you. You call a couple formations, and then we'll work our way down the line. You'll end up moving to last man, and then Lagarine will be in point.
Okay, so after a minute, then I'll just call out a formation, then move to the back.
Yeah, I'll just key you guys. Yeah, call out a formation, and then once you hear Normandy, your last man, telling you that formation's been achieved, maybe give it a second, but then go to another formation.
Okay, give me wedge formation. 5-meter spread.
So ideally, we have one of you guys swing over. It doesn't have to be a symmetrical wedge by any means, but since we were just talking about it in that context, we could do.
Alright, formation set.
Falling back to the back.
Actually, just stay with me.
Oh, sorry.
Just, oh, yep. Okay, so you're gonna fall back to last man. Yeah, let's have you do like a couple before that,
Oh.
and then I'll cue you on.
Okay.
On switching up the actual.
Okay, sorry, boss. So let's go back to wedge then. All right, let's have column. 5-meter spread.
Formation set.
Okay, and what's the left half wedge? What was that called?
That'd be left echelon.
Left echelon, 5-meter spread.
Formation set.
Right echelon, 5-meter spread. Oops, sorry, got screwed up. Hold on, sorry. My bad. Good to go.
Out-of-body experience.
Yeah, it kind of glitched out on me a little bit.
Formation set.
All right, let's go ahead and have you cycle back to last man. Lagarine, you're on point. We'll just have you do one since you're very familiar.
Excellent. I want a stagger column. 10-meter spacing.
Formation set.
All right, Lagarine, go ahead and pop back to last man.
Okay.
Green, you're on point.
Column.
And just make sure and give a distance.
5 meters.
Formation set.
Right echelon, 5 meter.
Formation set.
Staggered column, 3 meters.
Hey, Fen, we're doing
Morning,
some
Fen.
training.
Formation set.
All right, let's go ahead and swap in Kalis.
Got one column,
Make sure and give him a distance.
5 meters.
Formation set.
Alright,
Sure,
well,
Fen. If you're bored and you want to come to Daymar, I'd love to have you.
left echelon, 10 meters.
Gonna try to join your server.
Formation set.
Okay, staggered column, 5 meters.
Now, in the staggered column, would you rather have the first one on the left or the first one on the right? Position 2.
We'll keep the first one on the left for ease purposes.
Okay.
Ledger switch sides. Formation set.
I thought there was somebody behind me.
And then we'll do right echelon, 10 meters.
So you guys got real familiar with that aircraft. Okay, that's great. So let's go ahead and do a column formation, 3 meters, get in nice and tight. Kalis, go ahead and pop to last man, and Warrior back on point.
Roger that.
Sorry to interrupt, but quickly want to congratulate PN1. You're being promoted to first lieutenant, good sir.
Oh, wow.
Woo woo.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, I meant to mention that in the meeting. I'm sorry I didn't do that, but yes, congrats and thank you for putting in all that good work and for doing
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Wow.
the training.
Good
Carry
job.
on.
Now you're gonna make him float away. His head's getting so big on this screen. See?
Alright, good luck,
Guys, I cannot join your server, so I'm gonna I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave this channel.
All right, Fen. I appreciate you trying.
If when you finish training, if you want to do some, I don't know, PvP. I'm so thirsty for PvP. So if you guys want to do some PvP, please
Okay.
come.
All right, guys. So that's formations. Any questions on any of those formations? Okay, great. Let's go ahead and do. We're gonna move to live fire, and what we're gonna work on now is contact response. So, in general, let's go ahead and have you guys get in line formation in front of the stern of the ship, just like we started, just like a 2 meter spacing line formation. So in general, when it comes to contact response, we have a couple specific techniques that we talk about. The first one we're going to cover is bounding. Before we go into the details of it, everyone should internalize some of the initial feedback cycles, thought cycles, I forget the term now, but for contact response. So one, you want to be returning fire and seeking cover. So both of those things happening simultaneously. The order isn't that really important. Ideally returning fire can happen first, but it really depends on how exposed you are and if there's any cover near you. So in an environment like this, without breaking away from the group too much, you might struggle to find any cover near you. In that case, just focusing on that returning fire bit. While that's going on, new objectives are being communicated by your fire team leader or platoon leader. Someone is going to issue how we're going to deal with the contact response. In this case, we're just going to practice a specific thing, which is bounding, but it could be literally anything. So just keep that in mind. So when encountering contact, we want to orient, describe, and expound. We want to orient the rest of our fire team or platoon to where the contact is. We want to expound on any relevant, pertinent, immediate details about the contact's location. And we want to expound on any other details that might be relevant for the broader engagement. So orient would be something like contact left. It's quick and short, tells everybody, hey, there's a bad guy to our left. Or you could give it a clock or compass direction. Describing could be adding things like he's got a rocket launcher, or he might have 2 guys coming up behind him, or some detail like that. Or it could be something as simple as like, look high, it's on the hill, and expounding could be any other relevant information that's less pressing that we don't need to internalize in order to initially engage a response or reaction to the contact. So in this case, what we're going to do is practice bounding to either close distance with the contact or break off from the contact. So either pushing or breaking. In each case, the procedure is pretty much the same, and Lagarine and I will demonstrate it. We're going to go through a series of commands, and to do this, we're also going to split us up into 2 fire teams. So Lagarine will generally be running, though we're going to have you guys cycle through command of it. Alpha team, and on Alpha team we'll have War PhD and Achilles, and then Bravo will be me, Normandy, and Green Fog. So let's just keep that in mind after we start. So in this case, we could say we were like patrolling away from the ship, heading towards, let's see, you guys see that big rock out, kind of in the direction I'm looking at right now? Okay, so we'll just use that as our contact. And we did lose daylight, but we're going to work in the dark anyway. It doesn't matter for our purposes, day or night. All right, when they add weather, whatever the weather is, we want to be used to working in any environment. So in this case, we're going to be closing distance. So we're going to assume that we've taken contact. I'll call contact 12 o'clock. Let's close distance, bound forward. You know, I might say like alpha bound forward. And then we'll kick off a series of commands where alpha will move forward, get set into a new position, begin covering fire, and I'll move forward, get set into a new position, and begin covering fire, and we'll alternate. So we'll put that into motion right now, and then we can address any questions before you guys do it.
So do you want me to lead the Alpha team, or do you want me to put one of these 2 in charge?
For right now, let's just be me and you, and you'll be the sole Alpha team. But then we'll have them in charge leading the whole thing, just for the demo.
Oh, so you're gonna have them watch. Got it.
All right, so contact 12 o'clock. Let's close in with him, alpha bound forward.
Alpha bounding.
Bang, 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 bang.
Alpha team set.
Alpha team's not going anywhere.
Bravo moving. We're just demoing it right now.
Yeah.
So a couple things to note, if I need to reload, I want to do it while I'm moving, not while I'm supposed to be covering. And I'm going up past Alpha's location, significantly past, that way we can move quickly towards the target. Bravo set.
Alpha moving. Alpha team set.
Bravo moving. Bravo set.
Alpha team moving. Alpha team.
Converge on target. Converge on target.
Alpha team converging.
So on that, when we start to get to a distance where it just doesn't make sense to keep bounding and we can kind of just move in around the target, we'll just call converge, and both teams will move forward. Guns drawn, ready to engage any targets. It could be a building, could be a vehicle, could be just some cover that we behind. Does that make sense to everyone?
Roger.
Target down.
Nicely done. All right, so Lagarine, let's head back, and we'll have these guys try and run one themselves. So on Alpha, we'll have War as the fire team lead, and on Bravo, we'll have Green as the fire team lead.
Are you gonna be in my?
Yeah, I'll follow along with you guys. I'll be on Bravo.
And I'll still be on Alpha.
And so so what we'll do is I'll just start shooting the ground right here just to simulate incoming gunfire, and then you, let's have Alpha Lead be the squad lead in general, and so Alpha Lead, you'll just call that contact and response.
Alpha team bounding.
Just wait for the
Oh,
wait for the
sorry.
gunfire, and then you'll want to communicate, with the whole squad. Here's what we're gonna do. So we're taking fire.
Oh,
from
okay.
a certain direction. We're gonna close with them. You might want to say Bravo bound forward, or you might
So-
want to say Bravo give us cover.
So taking fire, taking fire, rock on the top of the hill, Bravo team cover, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Except use like clock directions.
Oh, okay. So 12 o'clock if it's the rock. Based,
Yeah, well,
based.
12 o'clock's your like movement, yeah. So your order of movement.
Okay.
And base it off that.
Okay.
All right, ready for that gunfire.
Taking fire, 12 o'clock. Move towards the boulder. Alpha team bounding. Bravo cover.
Bravo suppressing.
Yep, let's hear that clear comm. So especially between
Bravo
three
Alpha team
and
set.
4.
Bravo team. Warm up. High formation. Let's go. Bounding. Bravo team set.
Alpha team Bravo bounding. Alpha team set.
Bravo team bond. Bounding. Moving in.
Yeah, and so the bounding team is sprinting. This is one time where we want to sprint, right? Because our other fire team's giving us enough cover.
Okay.
So one thing to note, you can't sprint and reload at the same time. So when you guys are bounding, and if you need to reload while you bound, don't full-on sprint right away. Give yourself a little bit of time to reload your weapon, and then go on an all-out sprint.
Alpha team converge on target. Sorry.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Sorry. Getting a little ahead of myself.
Yep, so you go ahead and come back green. Let's say stay ready and engaging. So just give that set command again so that they know.
Bravo team. Warm up. What's the one where
Set.
just like a loose sort of
If you're
If you're bounding, you're going to want to be online.
If you're
Yeah, so
in set position, you call set.
time
Yep.
set?
Alpha team
So
bounding.
We won't really be particular about other formations while we're doing the bounding, right? Because there's a lot of communication going on, and we're just trying to aggressively move forward. We just want to clear
Alpha team set.
line in front of cover.
Bravo. Moving in. Already set.
Yeah, and so at this point you might say converge or a little earlier maybe, and then we'd all be kind of rolling in on the target,
Okay.
whatever it is, and making sure it's totally secure.
Blue, 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 blue.
All right, so from here, why don't we get lined up in front of the boulder, between the boulder and the cutlass here. Let's just get online, and we're gonna run the same thing but in reverse.
Like,
And
running
we're
away.
gonna. Yep, exactly. So we'll be bounding backwards this time, and go ahead, just line up in front of me, facing the boulder. And what I'll do is I'll pop out from the boulder, start shooting at you guys. That's your kind of time to call it back off.
So,
Yep.
Just for clarity's sake, we're going to be exfiltrating to the Cutlass Black from the boulder, and in this case, our target, if you will, is at the boulder shooting at us. Is that what we're doing?
Yep, that's right. And last time around, everyone just organically fell back into the Cutlass, so we could do that again too. That'd be great. If you guys, the idea being the Cutlass is safety. Bad guys are coming from behind the boulder. The boulder just represents some vague enemy threat. And the goal is to bound back to the point where each fire team loads into that Cutlass.
So we're bounding back to the Cutlass, but we're turning to shoot at the boulder.
Right.
Okay.
So when you've reached your set position, you should be turning around and shooting at the boulder location where I'll be.
Roger that.
To cover the bound backwards of the other team. All right. So I'm gonna move behind the boulder. I'll be the bad guy, and when I pop out, let's keep, let's say, we'll have War as squad lead again, and you'll just call the movement,
Roger.
let everyone know what to do, and then you guys will go into the exercise. Does that make sense?
Sure does. Taking fire, boulder left, fall back to the Cutlass, Alpha team bounding. Bravo cover, please.
Bravo, cover.
Alpha team set.
Bravo. Down. We're set. Cover fire.
Alpha team bounding. Alpha team set.
I'll let you go. Team set. Fire.
Alpha team bounding.
And Alpha, you might want to pop that door down before you call set. That way they can just run right into the ship.
Roger that.
On Bravo.
Contact readjusting 2 o'clock, high side.
Alpha team set. Doors down.
All team move. All out.
So Alpha, while they're loading up, you want to be providing fire until they're fully set and covering you from inside the ship.
Luckily, it's probably not the
Ship
best
cover.
spot to provide security from.
Let's get
Oh,
in
I
here.
thought I was on the other left side.
Bravo in.
Alpha team bounding.
I'm in here, Wolf.
Alpha set.
All right. So once that last man's in, say last man in.
Last man in.
All right. Pretty decent. I definitely encourage you guys to keep attending training so you keep internalizing those, and also we'll put them into practice in operations and stuff. So, but we'll move forward for now. Right now, I think you guys get the general picture. Everyone go ahead, pop back out. We're gonna do one more response drill. We're just gonna simulate something called peeling, and it's similar to bounding in that it's a way of moving while maintaining covering fire.
Left peeling.
A little bit different in that, because you're not going to be moving past the other team, or in this case we'll just do it as one team. You're making less ground, but you do have more continual fire, which is great. And depending on the circumstances, it might be a better fit for your environment. Here in this wide open environment where we can see literally everything, bounding could make sense, but peeling could be a good alternative depending where you are. So let's go ahead and have everyone come up to me. That way we have some distance, and we'll just do the same thing. We'll peel back into the Cutlass. So let's just get on line in front of me, facing me. We'll just operate as one big fire team for this, just so you get the general idea. So go ahead and line up. I guess Green Fog is now in front, so let's just line up 2 meter spacing or something on him. So what we'll do is we'll simulate the same exact response, where I'll start shooting. We'll have, in this case, we'll have Green call contact and say, what you're gonna do is basically tell everyone, we're gonna peel back into the Cutlass and leave. A couple things to note is, this can be done with 2 people. All of this can be done with 2 people. It can be done with multiple fire teams, multiple platoons. It's all sort of scalable. With peeling particularly, the idea is you're gonna basically, you'll signal which side should start peeling. Like in this case, let's say Normandy, since he's on the far right, on your far right. You might say, you know, Normandy, peel back. You might want to give a distance, or you might just want to give an overall objective, like peel back. We're gonna exfiltrate from the cutlass. Normandy will stop shooting, turn around, sprint back, you know, some distance, maybe 10 meters, maybe longer, depending how far we are, and then repoint at the target and begin shooting again. During that process, at some point, Ligerine will do the same thing. So he'll turn back in his place, sprint directly behind him, fall onto new line with Normandy, and re-engage the target. Achilles will do the same. Green Fog, you'll then do the same, or PHT, you'll do the same. So it's a cascading effect of movement where there's a continual fire going at the target, and you're moving back as and setting new lines of fire as you go. Does that make sense?
You two should show us.
Should I take point on this one just to give
I
you
could.
guys
I can definitely explain this too.
It makes sense to me. I get it.
All experience.
Oh wait, Normandy, you were with us on the other one. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
And in
You
real
can
life,
start.
I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go ahead and initiate, see how it goes, and if not, we can elaborate further. Alright, so, ready? Here comes that contact.
Who's squad lead?
Contact. Peel. Go back cutlass.
Normandy peeling.
Right side peel.
Normandy set.
Ligerine peeling. Ligerine set.
Caleb's peeling. Caleb's
Taking
set.
hits. Fog peeling.
I'm out of ammo, or I'd still be shooting.
Fog set.
War peeling. War set.
Do you want us to keep going back?
So, hang on, before we do this again, War, note that you're the last man. So when you set, call last man.
Okay.
Set.
Last man set.
That way, the first man knows. Okay, it's time to go again.
Roger.
Yeah, I think that's worth noting on the set stuff. I do also want to emphasize, like, in the actual moment, there's going to be so much communication and shooting and fastness going on that you may not need to be so structured about it in terms of calling set or calling moving. It'll just be like, you know, if Normandy cues it off because he's going first, you don't even necessarily need to wait for him to get there and turn around. You know, Ligerine, you could already start moving if you need to, or whatever it may be, but just kind of keep that in mind. For all of this stuff, we'll want to try and maintain a sense of fluidity around it where we're responding to whatever's around us. Now, the other case is, it might not be that moving back to the ship could be the best case in both the bounding and the peeling. So, the term, you know, you could say, like, find the door or find the exit, in which case, you know, it might be that moving to, like, the 3 o'clock would be better, and so you'll peel back or bound back to the 3 o'clock, but in this case, we are doing it to the cutlass, just to offer some clarity on that.
Also, you would never peel back from a forward-facing target. So that was kind of weird.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's just run it back to the ship. We can just keep going from here, I think, and just run it back just to get the general idea.
Normandy peeling. Normandy set.
Ligerine set.
Caleb's peeling.
So, like PN1 said, you definitely want fluidity when you're peeling.
War peeling.
And when you're in the heat of battle, you may not always have
Last man set.
comms. So, you know, I would say a good peeling structure would be like, give the person that peeled before you about 2 to 3 seconds before you start going back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that way you don't hear a set, you're not just sitting here like, okay, what do I do now? Because that's when you die.
Agreed, yeah, that's great, like 2 to 3 seconds, or just some kind of lead time, because you might not hear one of those commands.
Do you mind, like, if it's alright with you, do you mind if I just do like a quick thing on peeling real quick? Just because, like, if I don't,
Yeah,
like, I
go
have a
ahead.
little OCD, that's why I need to, like, kind of not fix it, but, like, guide it a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's fine.
Alright, everyone come out here real quick. Alright, I need one person right here. He's gonna be the point man.
Just assign it.
Alright, Achilles, you're gonna be point man, so here. Everyone base off a 5-meter wedge off of Achilles.
Guys, I am so sorry to interrupt in the middle of this thing. Just really want to let you know, we just brought in our newest SR, our newest Helljumper 2 bomber. So I just wanted to quickly introduce him to the Helljumpers. This is your group, guys. 2 bomber, please add these guys to your contacts list as soon as you can, and you guys add 2 bomber as well. Hopefully he'll make the next Grasser. But just wanted to bring him in here if you could just listen in for now. And I'm sorry to interrupt.
Thanks, Charles. Welcome to Bomber.
Okay, good luck.
Hey,
Actually,
Doris,
come forward a little bit, guys.
after this is over, I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay.
Alright, so this is like your standard wedge, right? Alright, and let's say, hey PN, can you go over there? Thank you. So like this is your standard wedge. Let's say PN is at that rock over there and we're taking shots from. So everyone on the left side of Achilles would aim and start firing at the rock. So position as you guys are pointing at that rock, except for you, Green Fog. So everyone, you're shooting at that rock that's retained contact from. From this point, Achilles, as team lead, would say peeling. So you, Green Fog, would peel back, and you would create your left echelon. From this point, this would become a left echelon. You would stagger here so that all your guns facing towards the PN contact. Once you are set, Achilles will peel back, which he will pretty much turn right, as so not to flag any of his teammates, and then run down the echelon all the way behind everybody. And then he would set. So that's the actual peeling motion. Like the echelon left is a banana, and you guys are peeling right off of it. So once Achilles is set, then Lygerine, you would peel off. So aim right. No, you want to go back to back?
Definitely pivot the other direction so you don't
Yeah.
flag.
Oh, you know what? That makes more sense than what we were doing before. Okay, I know what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of doing what we were doing before PN1, where one guy moves back a line, or
Yes, because that's breaking contact. Breaking contact and peeling are two different sorts of, break contact formation. Peeling is a continuous fire while constant movement, whereas bounding is a set fire, constant movement.
Yeah, that is good to know. Yeah, I think it'll also be kind of situational dependent too. Like, if we're in a, we might be in an interior space or in a hallway or something. I mean, or whatever it may be. But I definitely like this. It's like you're basically moving along the back end of a line and creating a line, which makes a lot more sense.
And I personally think that's a really cool tactic.
Yeah,
One thing I would
cool.
suggest though, is remember when we all went to security station and we cleared it out on our
Yep.
first turn? A lot of the situations that we had in that didn't necessarily cover interior and floors, along with cover inside the hallways.
Right. Yeah. So, some of it, I definitely think that we're not going to be able to hit just because of the time constraints with training and the amount of people we train. We're not going to be able to hit every detail, but it will be important to put those into practice in operations. So a bunch of our operations haven't been as FPS heavy, but a lot of our earlier operations were, and so it'll just be important to put that in context then. We definitely have a lot of cool interior spaces to work with. If they're on the other side of the system, it takes a decent amount of time to get over there. So it's something we'd like to do when it's possible, but in this case we use Korea since it's so close and we can just scoot over there and do a quick response on it.
What I was thinking is maybe create a interior certification specifically for stuff like Korea, because out in the open like this,
Right.
kind of hard to apply a certain tactic.
Yeah, so that's something called our advanced unit training, and it's been in flux since the beginning, but we do go through squad mobility there for interior spaces. So like how you would move through a hallway, how you might move across a door, how you might respond to a contact. I'm trying to remember what else is in there. Other alternatives on breaching. So in this training, because it's just general and basic for the whole org wide, we keep it to just kind of our essentials. But I think we've had about 5 people do that advanced training, and then I kind of wanted to revisit the actual like structure of it. So, and I think Daros was concerned that we were just getting too varied on the amount of trainings we were doing, given the amount of people we had. So I think we want to like start bringing that back, especially as we get more standard fire team leads.
You guys gonna go to SPK now?
We're almost there. We're gonna run through just 2 more things on this, and then yeah, we'll put it into practice at SPK.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah, we're on Daymar right now. Actually, we have to do some zero-G stuff above Daymar, so just head over our way, and then we'll link up on it.
And our
Okay.
drops.
If you want me to fly you for the drops, I can do that.
Okay, that'd be great. While you do that, while you get over here, we'll just go over some side exit stuff real quick. So let's have
You have
everyone.
and you are the party leader.
Yeah, I'll send you an invite.
Thank you, sir.
Let's just have everyone sit. I'm gonna clear this vehicle. I'm not sure why it's here.
Oh, does it come default with this? Yeah.
If only.
Oh,
Yeah, thing's been in there for a couple days. Hopefully it doesn't explode on you when you start it up.
oh, this is Jam's Dragonfly. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Can't even move it.
You want me to give it a try?
The
Yeah.
engine's
If,
on.
if I can move it, I can put it in my cuddy. I parked my cuddy nearby.
Alright, everyone watch out at the back, because he's gonna back it up.
That's what she said.
The noise it was making was super sketchy. I was kind of scared. I'm actually gonna get the fuck out, because I'm that scared.
Any luck?
Hang on. Nada.
Alright, well, we'll just leave it and use the left door just for training purposes. Okay, so before we do that, let's go over breaching. So if I could just get everyone out back here behind the stern, and we'll just have me, Lizrine, Normandy, and I guess Kalis. Let's have the 4 of us demonstrated.
I guess.
Yeah, because you just went through the training, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just so hurt.
Oh, I just meant.
Good.
Yeah, gotcha. So so this could be applied in a number of scenarios, but you can imagine if we were pulling up on a bunker, or if we end up at security post array and we're pulling up on an airlock or on another ship like this Cutlass. We'll just go over how we can move through interior spaces with closed doors and keep each other covered. I'm gonna close the ramp. Alright, so for the purpose of this exercise, I'll just be the squad lead, and we'll have one fire team, which will be Alpha team. We'll have, I guess, let's have Normandy on point, and well, let's have Normandy as Alpha lead, and Normandy will be your call, how you structure your fire team. So we're coming up to this Cutlass as a squad lead. I'm saying, Alpha team, secure the Cutlass.
Roger. Alpha team, online. Stack, left side door. Normandy set.
Kayla set.
Let's have.
I'll move in. I'll be last man.
Yeah.
Last man.
Alpha team set.
Go ahead and breach Alpha team.
Alpha standby. Opening door. Normandy moving in left side.
Kayla's moving in right side.
Last man inside.
Clear.
Left side clear.
Alpha team reporting clear inside structure.
This glitched dragonfly. That's a dangerous weapon of mass destruction there, sir.
Yeah, no. Stick your wiener in it.
Alpha team preparing to insert.
Roger.
Normandy, there's a room beyond that door. Let's check it out.
Roger that. Achilles on me.
On you, sir.
Move
Last
on the
man.
left side. Okay, let's move on the left side of the door and open it.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead and open it.
It opens automatically. Yeah, there's no button for it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just RPing it. See anything?
Clear.
Alright, Normandy moving in right.
Light green moving in left.
Right side clear.
Left side clear.
Room clear.
Hold on.
All right. Outlet's clear. So let's go ahead and run that again, and we'll talk through it a bit. But this time, let's have Warren Green sub in for Kalis and Lagreen.
So in this case, you guys are going to encounter a hostile. One thing to note, especially you want to familiarize yourself with ships that have automatic doors like this. In the event that someone opens that door, expect resistance, expect cover fire to come out of that door, and usually it's like straight off of that door. So Normandy, he had the right idea. You want to be about 45 degrees off that door, and you want to be far enough to where the door doesn't open automatically. So if you can see where I'm standing, right here, he was standing right here, right? And I don't remember who it was. It was a Kalis. He went on the left side of the door. Now watch that door. All right, I want everybody in here. If you can see the door, then you're good. Okay. All right. So Kalis went over here. See what happened? So he changed sides. The auto door opened automatically. So what would normally happen if this was a combat situation? He would have switched sides. That door would have opened, and our target would have iced him instantly. So those bullets would be flying straight out that door. So what you want to do is, if you're going to be taking the left-hand side, and you know it's going to be an auto door like this, you want to take and give it a little bit of a berth. So if Normandy calls, hey, take that left side, I'll be like, Roger. I come back over here, and then move up, but don't move up too much, because you don't want to open that door. As soon as you open that door, the person on the other side of that door is already reevaluating his situation, reorienting himself to engage a target. So the longer that stays closed, and the more ready you are to take the target that's inside, the better your chances of survival is going to be. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are going to bound again, and I will be returning fire out here. So if you guys see where I am, this is the line of fire I will be making. So if anybody's standing in this line of fire, they will be hit.
Yeah.
And I apologize in advance. Just don't die.
do not kill Ligerine as well. Do not shoot.
Yeah, I would prefer not to be killed.
Okay, guys, and I'll kind of talk you through a couple points. I'll be pausing you guys at certain points just to actually go over some details about what you're doing and why. I'm dealing with some gnarly glitches right now. Oh, there we go. Got my gun back. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and have we'll run it again where and actually, Michaelis, why don't you stay in the squad as well? That way we'll keep it four. Stay in the fire team. So Normandy's the fire team lead, and I'll just be a squad lead. And kind of the idea is we just stumbled on this cutlass, or maybe we downed it, and now we're going to check it out. So Alpha team, go ahead and secure the cutlass.
Alpha team, column on me.
Halo's last man.
Alpha team, stack left side, cutlass.
All right, let me pause you guys right there. So, Green and War, since this is first time running through this, what we're doing here is the idea being you guys are off to that 45-degree angle from the door. That way, if it pops open, you guys are out of the immediate line of fire. Also, Normandy, as point, is covering the front. His sole focus, in fact, his laser focus, is on any contacts that might come out that cutlass to try and protect you guys. Meanwhile, War, Green, you're covering off to the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock of this stack. If there's a wall on your 9 o'clock, let's say, then you're both covering in the 3 o'clock direction somewhere along that arc to a Kalis who's covering 6 o'clock and keeping the line safe from behind. So this is looking pretty good right now. And depending on the scenario, you might want to be tighter together or maybe further spread apart. But in general, this is looking great. So when you hear stack up, this is what you want it to look like. All right, go ahead, Normandy.
Roger. Stand by opening door. Normandy breaching left side.
Do I say anything or no?
You don't need to.
Okay.
In fact, the clearer the comms, better. But as soon as Normandy's saying breaching, you guys are following. And you could all follow in on left side, or you could alternate sides. So War, you can move right. Green, you can move left. Kalos, you can move right. Also of note, on the breach, everyone should be facing forward.
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing extra commands. It's like bad habit, well, old habit.
That's all right. I mean, communication never hurts, but you might not get it, or it might not be easy to hear.
Yeah. All right. Room clear. Got one door forward.
All right, let me pause you guys again. So, and I'm not pausing you because you're doing anything wrong, just to explain to you guys. So when you get that room clear, Akalis is last man. That's your cue to begin covering the rear again. That way, if anything new introduces itself, you're protecting the people in the room.
Alpha team stack right side door. Knowing you guys are set.
Alpha team set.
Invite. Contact. Door's set.
Yeah, the door's being glitchy.
All right.
Okay, that's been a. Let me move back. I think that door is just glitching out.
All right.
Yeah,
Do not
you
shoot
should
Ledger. Do not kill him.
Roger
He's
that.
Simulating.
I've already done the piece. You guys can infiltrate now.
All right. Alpha team breach.
Right side clear.
Target. Down.
Achilles.
On
Achilles.
the floor.
Yeah, move our rear.
All right. Going in.
Coffee. Sauce.
Last man in.
Set.
All right, so a couple quick notes on the whole thing. Generally great, and better since I was interrupting you. We're gonna swap it out so that one of you guys is last man and one of you guys is point. Sorry, I've got more going on there. I'm just trying to turn off this bike. So a couple quick notes. So we refer to the inside of the room, the center of the room, or center of any location as in breaching as or interior travel at all as a fatal funnel, meaning that's where all the bullets are flying, that's where the fatalities are, so staying on the perimeter of the room is the right move. And then, Michaelis, just that one reminder, when the breach is happening, you want to end up pointing into the room and moving in facing forward, because we don't know what's in the room at that very moment.
Understood.
Now, while all this is going on, you might have another fire team out here providing security. Maybe they're watching, they're posted up at each angled side of the cutlass, and they're covering the side entrances, making sure nothing's coming in or out to surprise you guys. But if you're operating alone, you're going to make sure that you're fully aware that things may enter your space or not.
Do you want me to try destroying the bike when the shields are off, Thomas?
Cutlass will blow up.
We do have a backup cutlass. We have 2 backup cutlasses, so yeah, we can try it. Let's just do one more breach on that. So Green, let's have you on point, and Ward, you'll be last man.
Okay.
Green, you'll be commanding Alpha Team, and let's have Normandy and Michaelis fill in the middle. Is that clear? Okay, Alpha Team, go ahead and clear the cutlass.
Alpha team, warm up.
Normandy set.
Last man set. Last man.
Normandy set.
Last man set.
Alright, we definitely do want to cut down on the comms a bit. All you really need is the last man to say set, because he's going to be watching to make sure everyone else is there.
How do you open this?
Aim for that part right there. There, I got it.
Breach.
Oh, you got it.
Hanger. Clear.
Clear.
Last man in.
Alpha form up. Right side wall. Right side door.
Last man set.
Keep
Oh,
these
that
guys
can't
open at the door. Breach when it's open.
Oh, there it goes.
Contact.
What is this?
Okay.
Ugh.
Cockpit clear.
Last man in. Clear.
Alright, cutlass clear. So, one thing Lagreen notes is when you open that door, sometimes you might get that initial burst of fire as your bad guy may be expecting you. So giving that 1 second of hesitation to let that first volley come through is a good idea. And then also, when you are going to move through intentionally and quickly. So when that breach command's given, everyone's moving in quickly to get as many guns in the room and overwhelm the enemy in the room, give them multiple targets to confuse them, and make sure you guys have multiple guns that put down fire at them.
I want to say good job to everybody on that breach run. That was a very, very good idea, letting the door close again, because personally, I felt the need to reorient myself to whatever is going to come through again. And then after that, you guys just poured through, because I mean, you already knew that there was going to be a hostile on the other side of the door, and you pop back, let the door close. You know he's on the other side. Now you know you're engaging him because you know he's inside, whereas before you didn't. And I want to say kudos on that. Good job.
I mean, personally, if the system worked a little bit better, after the first shots and the door closed, I would have thrown a grenade.
Oh yeah, a grenade would have. Well, I mean, in
Until the
in
door
real life,
closes, bounces off.
if it's a grenade and you know he's in there, then yeah, just give it a chuck. But
Alright.
The way you did that there, letting the door close, you know, after the initial fire, the person on the inside knows he's fucked, and then all of a sudden the door closes. He doesn't know how many targets are about to engage him, and then that's when you throw the grenade in there.
I mean, personally, that wasn't intentional. That door just glitched like hardcore.
Yeah, it's
Good job.
kind of a glitchy ship right now. We've got a running, unpowered dragonfly in here, and it's all
Alright.
artifact.
So let's go ahead and let's switch over to Fenn's Cutlass. So everyone go ahead and get seated there, and
Drop
I
the
need
shields
one
on that.
volunteer.
Oh yeah, Cutlass Club, baby.
Say it's a club blast.
There's a reason why this is the most popular ship. It's a job done.
Because the cheapest.
Oh, I'd say it gets the job done. Whatever you're doing. See, that's what we need in the friggin' screenshot. It's just like a hammerhead and like a shit ton of Cuddy Blacks.
Why they
Let's
gotta be
have,
black? Why can't they be red or blue or white?
Because
Racist.
black is the best.
So we're gonna go ahead and now put some of this into motion on the ground here. We'll keep my Cutlass here as a marker, and what we'll do is we'll run a drop where the idea will be to clear this Cutlass. Lagarines, where's your Cutlass? Is that over the ridge?
Ah, yeah, it's on the other side of the ridge. I thought we were gonna bound towards it, but we found a good rock, so we didn't.
Alright, so Michaelis, why don't you just join us in the new Cutlass for this drop? So do we have either Fenn or Lagarine can pilot, maybe?
I got it.
Pilot.
I got it. Ben. I mean, unless you don't feel like jumping out.
I don't feel like jumping out, but you can still fly it.
Oh, if you don't want to jump out, I do. So go ahead and fly.
Alright, and before you take off, we'll just do one more drop exercise. In this case, we're going to just practice the side door drop since we didn't get to it yet. So we'll go through that same command structure, except this time, what we'll do is we'll be turning to the front of the ship, and each side will walk down their respective yellow line, and then making room for a person on your left so that by twos you can approach the side door. You'll step up to this first step, and then we'll just go through the normal command process after that. When the door is opening on red light, you'll take your gun out, and when you hear green light and you jump, you'll make sure when you jump, when you end up on the ground, you want to be covering, between, let's say, on the port side, you want to cover between 11 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and on the starboard side, you want to cover between 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So doing that same kind of security setup just on the sides of the ship. Is that clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead and take your seat. Alright, and I'll fill in on the final seat on starboard side. So, starboard side of the ship is Alpha Team. I think it just put away green seat instead of sitting me down. Starboard side is Alpha Team, port side is Bravo Team. On port side, we'll have Bravo, and we'll have let's have green leading off on my side. So in this case, we're 2 minutes out. Gear check. Should be standing up, scrolling down. Moby glass seats go up. Everyone's checking that Moby glass, and then you're checking the person across from you. And we hear prepare to drop. So you should be turning towards the front. We're going to be doing a side drop, so we'll be turning towards the front and walking down your respective yellow line. Now, War, you'll want to face the starboard door. We'll be going out the starboard
Oops.
and walking to that first step. War and green on my side, and Kalis and light green. So Kalis, you want to be coming up on light green's left there. Yep, and then Normandy, you'll file in behind light green on your yellow line, and I'll be behind War. So everyone take a quick look around. If you don't understand what just happened there, just to make sure you get it. We walk down our respective yellow lines. By twos, we approach the sideboards. Alright, so on red light, guns out. Scroll wheel up. Then if you could pop the doors open, that'd be great.
K button.
Approaching the target. Touchdown. Green light. Drop, drop, drop. So when you drop, make sure you pop out just enough distance to let the people behind you out. And get a good kind of arc of coverage for your side.
I thought we were in the air the whole time.
Surprise! Alright, so that's that. Let's go ahead and get seated, and we will put it into the air now. And we'll brief on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you holster that gun before you sit.
And slow your speed, please.
So something I noticed while we were dropping, you leave footprints in the ship.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, well, maybe we have sand on our feet, but not otherwise.
No, like it's like our boots are not.
No, they need to work on that. Alright, Fen, close those doors. Alright, Fen, so just take us out, and then we'll come back to this location, and I'll brief you guys on the way. And Fen, just give us those cues when we're like 2 minutes out, 1 minute out, 30 seconds out. Alright guys, we've heard a report that we have a hostile cutlass. It attacked some of our traders earlier today, and we just got intelligence that it's located near an aid shelter on Daymar. We're en route. The objective will be to secure the cutlass and kill anyone inside. We'll be splitting into 2 teams. Alpha team, which will be led by Achilles, and Bravo team, which will be led by War. Goal will be to land, breach the cutlass, secure it, and kill anything inside. Any questions?
Go.
Our
2
pilot.
minutes out.
All right, gear check. Fen will be doing just a ground insertion for this.
Red light, red light.
Oh, we missed the prepare to drop on that, but red light, boys, so guns out. Scroll wheel up.
How we do a landing one?
Wait. I thought
Oh,
we
we
were
could do it.
doing a
We could do it
jump.
in air. We could do it in air. So on this guns in, everybody guns in. So we're gonna do an aerial drop. So you want your gun away, so you don't lose it on impact if you die. And you're gonna be sprinting out with the shift button.
This is what makes my dick hard right.
Sorry, didn't know what type of jump.
Green
we're
light,
doing a
green
static
light,
line
green
Go,
light.
drop,
green-
drop, drop.
Go, 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 go.
All right, now down, guns out. All the hell jumpers are out. Fire teams proceed to your objective.
Contact Drake Cutlass, forward bounding. Alpha team bounding, Bravo cover.
We won't need a bound unless we're.
Oh, okay, okay. Now I see two Cutlasses. Which one are we going at? The one with the light on or off?
One with a light on it.
Okay. And is this a sprint maneuver or is this just walking?
We're not taking fire, so just walk.
Okay.
So it's going to be the cutlass on the left. Sorry guys, the left cutlass. Didn't realize we'd be able to see both cutlasses from here.
You do not have lights on.
So the leftmost cutlass.
Oh, I'm heading the wrong way. That one.
Sorry boys, I may have left you a little bit too early.
So while we're en route, since we've got some time to kill, so that's what we call our static line drop. Guess we just kind of save time by pulling in. But the only difference in any of it is that because we're in motion and above the air and in ammo, we don't want our guns out when we hit the ground, because if we do die, we'll lose the firearm. So fire team leaders, even though we're 300 meters out, you want to communicate with your fire team, let them know if they should be, in column.
Alright, I got
Okay.
contact, boys.
A team, give me wedge formation. About 5 meter spread.
Bravo team, give me a line. Or call.
Okay. Clear comms for a second. Fan, what's the contact?
I got in outbound. It's outbound. It's fine.
A team, give me echelon right. 10 meters.
Bravo echelon left. 2 meter.
Bravo set.
Alpha set.
Alpha set.
Like you're joining Alpha team.
Alpha.
Bravo.
Alpha bounding. Bravo cover. Alpha set.
Bravo pounding. Bravo set.
Alpha bounding. Alpha set.
Bravo pounding.
Alpha bounding.
So let's have Bravo on security, and Alpha will be breaching ship.
Alpha set.
Bravo moving up to secure.
Got a door starboard side.
Big one on the legs.
Alpha moving in. Alpha group on me. Prepare to breach.
So just make sure you're clear about stacking. And Bravo, you might want to get in a position where you can see more of the ship, because if some contact comes around on your other side, you might not be able to tell.
Normandy, would you please take the left side of the ship, port side?
Roger, moving.
Alpha last man stacked up.
Alpha prepare to breach. Breaching. Alpha enter ship. We've got a door far ahead. Interior's clear. Stack right on the door.
Alpha stack.
Alpha set.
Alpha last man set.
Breaching.
Alpha last man set.
Breaching. Alright. Clear right. Clear left. No contacts.
Cockpit's clear.
Cutlass clear.
Alright, the Cutlass is clear. Alpha team's going to set to self-destruct. Ben, we're ready for extraction. 200 meters to the rear of the Cutlass.
Alpha leader entering pilot seat. Preparing to self-destruct.
All teams clear the ship to the rear. Head 200 meters to the rear of the ship. Alpha lead, you're clear to destroy.
Setting self-destruct. Exiting ship. Self-destruct set.
Move.
Alpha and Bravo, set security at these rocks while we wait for extraction.
Alpha team set.
Bravo team set.
It should have blown up by now.
Indeed. Awkward double check on the explosion.
I'll go.
Alpha, I'll take it, and let's have everyone get ready to load up. But you want to do it in a structured fashion, Alpha Lead, why don't you coordinate the extraction?
Roger that. Alpha Bravo prepare to extract. Excuse me. Form on me, wedge.
Bravo on me, wedge.
Alpha team bounding.
Bravo team cover.
Alpha set.
Bravo mounting. Bravo set.
Alpha bounding. Alpha set.
Bravo mounting.
Alpha bounding, moving into the ship. Alpha set. Let's watch the rear.
Bravo moving into the ship. Alright, Bravo team, let's go. Get on the ship.
Alpha enters the ship.
Bravo set.
Alpha set.
Alpha last man on. Alright, Fen, take us to 0G. Okay guys, so we'll do a quick debrief off that. Let's have everyone take a seat.
Don't forget to not run this.
So while we're en route to 0G, in 0G we'll just go over a couple more quick details, and then we'll go do a run on SBK, and we'll wrap things up from there. A couple quick thoughts on that. So overall, pretty good job. A couple things that we should make clear is, in the event we're running 2 fire teams, especially for this training exercise, but in general, we'll assume that Alpha lead is the squad lead as well. So Alpha lead, you've got a dual responsibility of commanding your fire team and potentially setting broader commands as needed for the squad. And that'll just depend on how much information and detail I've given out. Another note is, I like the practice on the bounding, but in general, you might not need to do bounding, right? You might be able to be more flexible and say something like, you know, Bravo, provide cover while we can move up to the target, or you might just both be able to sprint up if it seems quiet, or run up, guns drawn, depending on the time, circumstances. So just keep all that in mind. You don't always have to be bounding.
Okay.
Lagarine, what were your thoughts on that?
Personally, I jumped between Alpha and Bravo team just to get ahead on what they were doing. Generally, wouldn't need to bound toward a target you're exfiltrating to, unless you know that there's something up about it. And then other thoughts, good job on successfully calling the self-destruct. I know Drake ships have the half of the time it doesn't work ordeal or reputation, but that was cool. I kind of wanted to get a screenshot of that, but some other time.
Yeah, I wanted to record it as well. It was very cool.
Nice.
We'll have to do
Other
that
than
on the next one.
Everybody did very well.
Alright, so we'll get some broader thoughts from everybody too when we wrap up the whole training, but I do want to make sure and catch us up on time just a little bit. So, in the 0G zone, everything we just applied on the ground is going to be the same deal here, except for the fact that on any drop, because there's no ammo, no gravity, and no surface you're impacting with, you can have your firearm out. We have had the occasional glitch happen where someone dies exiting the ship just for some strange reason, but it's very uncommon. So what I just want to go through here is a couple details about those side drops. So when we do a side drop, depending on the circumstances, the pilot might have the bow of the ship pointed at the target, or maybe just one side of the ship pointed at the target. We might have one door closed, like the port side door closed, and all exit out the right side. Or we might both exit off both sides at the same time to get as many people out as possible. Or we might be approaching Korea, which is known to be hot. Maybe there are a bunch of targets there, and we don't want to keep our cutlass lingering, so we might just do a 0G tail insertion in motion, kind of like what we just did at the cutlass at the aid shelter. So those are all options, and I'm kind of glossing over them quickly, but I can answer any questions if you have them. Now let's go ahead and Lagarine, we didn't bring your second cutlass up here, but we'll just work with this one. So let's go ahead and have everyone, we'll do a side drop. So let's go ahead and gear check. Initiate a sequence for a side drop, gear check. Chaos, you with us? Green, are you with us? Alright. Sure, and put those seats up and not be running around on my cutlass. Ah, we lost him. Alright, well, he's been through it, so hopefully he can come back in. But so let's just have, yeah, exactly, Normandy. Thanks. And War, let's have you switch to port side. All right. So prepare to drop.
Side.
It'll be side exits for everybody. We're just gonna go over a couple quick notes out here, and then we'll move on to SPK. Sorry, Lagrin, I'm gonna stay out of it, so you just go ahead and filter up there.
Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna drop.
Okay, great. So we're gonna do the by twos on the drops. I know that for a while we trained the one column drop, but I think in motion it was just kind of separating us too much. So
Copy.
can do the
Then
by
I'll go parallel instead of behind.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so red light, firearm should be out, scroll wheeled up. And on the drop, it'll be the same deal. Green light, drop, drop, drop. You're just gonna run out. Now the only time we sprint is when we're in motion on the exit, and that keeps us closer together, but generally we'll just drop out otherwise. Alright, so we'll just, from 0G, simulate entering the cutlass as well, so it gives you guys some things to think about. One quick note, if you ever needed to get under, or get to the other side of the cutlass, the underside is flatter and quicker and avoids the up top turret, so that's keep in mind. In this case, we'll have both fire teams load from each side, so let's have Bravo, or I guess Alpha stay on starboard and Bravo, you're on port. So it could be doors open or closed. Why don't we'll have Bravo doors closed. So it's the same deal here. We're gonna stack up, and that could be on each side of the door. It could be on one side. The nice thing about 0G is that we have three-dimensional space, so the person second behind someone stacked up can be slightly elevated above them and still have visual into the ship. Now, if we have two teams entering, we're going to have one team enter first, and that's just so that we can keep things covered in case people are falling down on their faces on their way in. I've found that a slow, steady pace at about ankle height lands you every time, but it's hit or miss. I just landed, was fine, and now it just collapsed, so it's until they work on that, it's going to be hard. But why don't we go ahead and simulate breaching this. We'll have, hey Fen, if you don't mind closing the doors.
Closing doors.
Alright, so in this case we've got Bravo, which will be run by Green, and Alpha run by War. Actually, let's flip that. So Alpha will be on my side of the ship, run by Green. Bravo run by War, and Green. Keep in mind you're also kind of like overall commanding both, giving broad commands to both fire teams. So if you wanted like something broad to happen, like Bravo providing security instead of breaching or something, you'd be the one saying that. In this case, we're both going to breach, so there's not a lot to talk about there. All right, so squad, go ahead and clear that cutlass. All right, well, you want to get everyone stacked up first, right? Just in case we weren't all sitting here.
Bravo team,
So
stack
you might
up.
want to say something. Yeah, you might want to say something like, Alpha's going to take starboard side, Bravo, you take port side.
Bravo stack port side. We're gonna breach the store.
Last man.
Bravo set.
Bravo set. Alpha set. You're Bravo this time. Oh, excuse me, you're Alpha this time.
Or we're Alpha.
Yeah. So Bravo set.
Alright guys, go ahead and breach.
Alpha, is your comms down?
Oh, it's all clear.
Alright,
Or-
alright.
All right, Bravo breaching.
Blue, blue.
Inside's clear. There's a door Oh, door's open. My bad. Yeah, I just died. We have a door. Prepare to breach.
Stacked up outside.
Last man set.
All right, breaching. Contact, contact. Pow, 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 pow.
Got a comms at flat, flat.
Contact down.
All right, ship's clear. So we had a couple comms issues there, and I think that was my fault. I just confused you guys on the fire.
No
team, so
worries.
let me reset that up. But yeah, just assume, you know, like in this scenario, we're just right next to the doors, but we could be being dropped 100 meters away, and we might need to coordinate a little bit. In which case, if the squad leader or platoon leader hasn't already given some instructions there, Alpha Lead, you'll just want to make sure you're coordinating with Alpha and Bravo about how broadly things will proceed. But Bravo Lead will be actually running Bravo team, while Alpha Lead's actually running Alpha team. So just the broad takeaways on this are 0G is tricky, the entries are tricky. Make sure when you're breaching in 0G, you're waiting for the person in front of you to get up off their face. If they landed on their face, you want to make sure there's enough time for them to stand up first, get a gun up in the room before you take your gun and potentially land on your face. And then coordinating between the two teams about what to do inside. You know, you could easily, with this many people, have one fire team just hold down this room while the other breaches, or have everybody come in like we did. You guys want to just practice that entry a couple times
Sure.
to make sure you get the landing, or do you feel okay with it?
Bravo team.
Okay, so
Oops, sorry.
hang on. Before we do this, who is all out on the port side of the ship?
War.
Okay. So we're gonna do this way. Normandy, you're gonna be Alpha team. PN1, why don't you join him? Green and War, you guys are Bravo team.
The fuck, I just lost my sidearm.
Yeah, I lost my primary a little while ago. I had to switch out to a Devastator.
Yeah, it's a known bug. I've lost 3 P4s that way.
Yeah, I bought like a stack of them just for that particular reason. But they didn't have,
All right.
they only had like 2 magazines to sell.
Let's keep things moving just a bit because we are trailing on time. I try to keep these a little bit quicker.
Alpha team on starboard. Bravo on port.
Bravo's on port. Stack up on the door, please.
Alpha set.
Bravo set.
Breach, breach, breach.
Bravo team breaching. I've got to stand up.
Main cargo clear.
We got a door.
Door.
Prepare to.
Port.
I just lost a leg.
Medpen.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, stack up on the door. Bravo team. Prepare to breach. Breaching. Clear right. It's a mining tool, huh?
Room's clear.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
All right, so that was a little smoother, and you know, just a couple things to keep in mind is that in general, Alpha Lead might be calling the broader shots there, but I think in general that was pretty good. Also, it was a little bit smoother, and we used less communication, but still pretty much effectuated the same outcome. So it's just something all that to keep in mind.
Yeah,
Alright.
one thing I want to add is brevity is akin to godliness. The more effective your cons are and the more brief they are, the
Okay, quick check. Does anyone have the security post Korea mission?
Well, I just did it a little while ago.
Yep, I don't have
I
it.
think I have some.
I got it.
I have secured data network.
Yeah, secure data. That's it. Secured. Right. I'm sharing it now.
Sharing too.
Never mind. Definitely disappeared on me.
Might be because Sven took it as well. Alright, so we gotta prevent hack. Oh, I got both. Secure data. Oh, so they made them adversarial now. Secure data and prevent hack. So, took both sides of that mission. I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but let's go ahead and take your seats, guys. Ben, why don't you get us en route, and I'll just kind of brief everyone. We're gonna do a 0G entry off the tail. And Ben, just shut the doors when you can. So, do you guys all have prevent hack, or do you guys have something else?
I've got prevent hack. That's war has prevent hack.
All my shit's broken.
Yeah, I've got prevent hack also. Okay, that's great. So yeah, take your seats when you can. So we're gonna be infiltrating security post Korea and preventing a hack from enemies seeking to gain valuable information.
I have no weapons.
Try equipping a new item and saving, like a med pen or something. You might be able to pick one off the deck guard. Our pilot will be dropping us in a couple 100 meters off the post in 0G, and we'll proceed in 2 fire teams. Port side of the ship, you'll be Alpha team. Starboard side of the ship, you'll be Bravo team. War, you'll be Bravo lead, and Normandy, this time you'll be Alpha lead.
Raj, I think we just failed the hack.
Yeah, we failed the hack.
Well, we'll go clear the building nonetheless. Might be that we have contacts at Korea that took the counter mission. We'll go clear it out. If we encounter any other contacts whatsoever, it's shoot on sight.
2 minutes.
Gear check. Bravo team, you'll be securing Korea from the top. Alpha team, you'll be securing Korea from the bottom.
Starboard's Alpha? So,
Yep, starboard's Alpha.
Red light.
We need that prepare to drop next time, Fen, but
Prepare
red
to
light.
go up.
So, firearms out. We need that tailgate open, Fen. Lagrin, are you still with us? Alright, I'll be joining Bravo team. Normandy, you've got Bravo lead.
Yep.
Copy, we're about to drop.
Alright, we're running out of space. Let's go.
Green light, green light.
Jump,
Green
jump,
light.
jump.
Go war.
We are far out.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up, guys.
guys, let's try and just rally up so we're ready for that pickup.
Yeah, I'm about at the Cutlass myself.
I'm having damage.
That was war.
Oh, I'm good. I'm in.
Can I move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, fuck. I'm taking fire.
Under fire, under
Ben,
fire.
do you have contacts?
Are you in?
In,
Yeah.
Security post.
Someone
Get
down.
out of here. Get out of here. I'm not worth it.
do we have someone not on board?
Oh! Coming in. Hold it. Come on. Get in. Oh my god. Get. Oh, you hit me. Oh. Let me in. Alright, I'm in.
Alright, clear the turrets for a second. Does someone have a crime stat?
Can I drop you guys quickly there?
It might be seen as a stolen Cutlass.
Gotcha. Yep. And just fly us right over one of the pads and just tell us when to drop. Everyone, let's go to red light status off the tail. Green, if you get in, you might make it.
I don't think I will.
Ben, we're ready to drop. Just tell us when.
Any light?
Drop. All Helljumpers are clear. Alright, Alpha, remember you're taking the top. Bravo, you're going low.
Alright, Bravo team, form on me. Give me a right echelon, 5 meters. Now, side note, forgive me, I'm not entirely extremely familiar with the layout of this place, so I might not be the best lead. But I'll give it my best.
Follow him. Go left.
Did you say I take the top or the bottom?
Top.
Okay.
Out top. Number 60.
Alright, we have a door. Stack up on the door, Bravo. Or Alpha, excuse me.
Stairwell.
Or we might as well enter the airlock. Our airlock's clear. Oh, it's just the two of us? Okay. Alright, go ahead and cycle.
We got an airlock.
Guys, make sure you're referring to your actual fire team just because since there's two
Oh,
teams,
roger that.
use them anyway.
Bravo entering.
Clear. What are we out? Alpha entering.
Alpha. Or Bravo now.
I
Alright.
don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Alpha. I keep screwing up. I apologize.
That's alright. Normandy, I'll cycle it as last man. I'll cycle. That way you're on point.
Roger. I have point.
Alpha, watch your corners. Let's sweep left.
Clear.
Clear. Alpha clear.
Moving up. Alright, we got door left.
We got a door right.
Alpha, door left.
Let's go in.
Guys, I'm setting apart a mission.
Copy, everyone take that mission.
Alright.
7 hostiles to deal with.
I got left clear.
Right's clear. Approaching the door for the stairway.
And we're moving left.
Got contact. I'm not sure where it's come. I heard fire.
Sounds like Bravo.
All right, going in towards the stairwell. I'm going to sweep left. You sweep right. Alpha team.
Sweep right.
Bravo, we got a stairwell on the right and hallway forward.
Alpha clear. Going up the stairs.
Tangos.
I got stairwell covered. Bravo.
Copy.
Contact. 2 down.
Let's contact
Oh.
stairwell.
Breaking.
I'm down.
1 AK.
It's clear.
Have 2 down.
This is clear. 4.
Roger. All right. Second floor's clear. We're going up 1.
I'm gonna try to make my way to you guys.
Hold here.
Lose someone on your team?
Yeah, we lost PN.
Contact.
Let's go back. Let's go get them.
Right, guys, keep it with the mission, trying to eliminate the hostiles and
Contact down. 2 remaining. Gotta pick up a gun. You're clearing.
Alright.
Go ahead, Green.
Is there a melee attack? What's it?
It's middle mouse
Okay.
button. We have contact left.
He's down. On left.
Be advised, I'm moving to the 2nd floor.
All right, we're on the 3rd floor.
careful with
Last
the-
contact on me.
Okay, where you at?
Hit. He's on 2nd floor on me.
Floor's in flanking. Stuck.
2nd floor right above me, moving.
He's down.
landing pod 06. Landing pod 06 for extract.
Roger that. Extract
Alright.
Alpha team. Extract Bravo team.
Alpha moving to extraction. Alpha set on airlock to 6.
We're right behind you. Last man in. Cycling airlock.
Clear.
Let's make it quick, boys.
We're in.
Last man.
Ian, we jumping to you.
Copy that. Are you guys clear at the operating area?
Oh, we're taking shots.
We clear. Everything was clear. The boys did well.
Alright guys, so a couple quick thoughts on that. In general, pretty good. I think just something to keep in mind is one thing we want to emphasize as much as possible is speed. So it's a tough balance between speed and security, and just have to hone that in to make sure we're moving fluidly. I think also when we restart that mobility and advanced mobility training that'll help with the interior spaces. I just happen to have some bad luck, whereas as soon as we started moving, guys came. We were about to like move, and then guys came down the stairwell. But overall,
Yeah, they just ran
did a good
down.
job. Yeah,
I kind of want to make an addition here, real quick.
Yeah, please do.
If you guys note, the reason why PN1 didn't take the lead on that one is because he took Point Man. And if you guys note also that he died, the Point Man is usually the only person to die, or we try to keep the casualties to a minimum, but when it comes down to it, the Point Man is the bravest person, and he's usually the first person to die. So that's why we keep the person calling the shots back at like the second or third spot.
Roger that. You guys definitely have it together. I'll give you kudos for your system, for sure.
Well, it's certainly just a starting point, so we're taking into consideration everybody's points, and we're going to work together with everybody to keep adding to it. Part of it is also juggling time, which is tough for all of us. So thanks for participating, guys, and for the new recruits, you're now officially Helljumpers, so we're going to change your tags and get you updated.
Awesome.
And then hopefully you could pay it forward and participate in the next ones like some of the other guys have done here.
I'll come to everyone that I can. I love that stuff.
All right. Great, guys. Thanks a lot. I've actually got to head off, but in the future, if you have other thoughts, I'd love to hear them. And Normandy